Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with another review. Today we are talking about the new foundation stick from Mented Cosmetics. Y'all know I was super excited about this. We are talking about the Skin by Mented. And if you are interested in hearing this oily skin diva's thoughts and opinions on this right here, then definitely stay tuned until after the intro. Alright guys, Mented came through. They have a foundation stick out. Now I know if you are oily skin diva like myself, you were like, foundation stick? What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do? I know, girl. I know. Stick with me. Alright, so this does retail for $30 and you do get 15 grams, which is 0.53 ounces. And I did look online and compare this with some other foundation sticks like the Anastasia and the Cover FX maybe. No, it was Makeup Forever and Tarte, I believe. And I was looking at just how much you get in those, and you do get a lot more in this foundation stick, and you're getting it for a middle range price. So I think just to let you know, you are getting a good amount. This is not like those really small foundation sticks where you have nothing in them. There's actually a lot of product in here. I'm gonna of course put some information up from mented.com, but I do want to let you know this comes in 16 shades. I do have mine in T30, which says it's a tan to medium with warm undertones, and this is what it looks like right here. And this foundation, I will say, does have some nice warm undertone, but it does lend a little red on me sometimes, just a little bit red, and I think that's just the shade. I probably could have went up to the 20 or the 10, I believe. But I do think this is a beautiful shade, and I'm going to continue to wear it, especially as I get deeper into the summertime and my melanin gets popping. But I do feel like it's just a little bit off on there. So Mented says, our ultra hydrating formula is lightweight and buildable, giving you the coverage you need with the natural finish you love. And they do have a shade finder on there, which you kind of answer some questions and they match you up with the model. And then they do have a shade comparison guide where they're comparing what shade you should look for if you wear this in Fenty or if you would wear this in Match. It just kind of narrow down the choices for you. And then it says, still not sure? Don't sweat it. Every Skin by Mented order comes with 16 shade sample pack, which I got. Genius, and is eligible for a free return exchange. So I think it's well done. And this is vegan, hypoallergenic, dermatologist tested, and cruelty free. So just so you know, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but this beauty comes in 16 shades, and mine is 9 shades are after me. So of course I'm going to jump into these swatches really quick because I want to show you guys what all the different shades look like on my skin tone. Keep in mind that I am a MAC NC 43.5, I believe is what she said I was, or a 44. I think I'm 340 in Fenty. So just to kind of help you match your skin tone with the swatches that I'm about to show you, I also have a demo, and I will give you my, I'll show you guys some pictures of what it looks like at the end of the day and give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, so I have had this foundation on for probably about 5 hours now, Yes, so it's been 5 hours. I haven't blotted or anything, so I wanted to hop on here real quick before I do blot, because I need to do the actual introduction, because I just realized I forgot to record it. But I've had this on for 5 hours, and as you can see, it is a little bit dewy. What I will say are these lights are not doing it justice. The lights are just hitting every single point, and I'm really looking a lot shinier than I feel I look like in person. But the reality is I am still a little bit dewy. Now, I honestly feel like, again, the lights are making me look a whole lot dewier than I am, and I have no problem blotting and keeping it pushing, but I really want you guys to see how this is wearing throughout the day. So I do want to let you know this is like the 5 hour check-in, and this is how I'm looking. Hi guys. Okay, so it has been as close to 8 hours as I can get it. I apologize, y'all. I'm just ready to just, you know what I mean, I've been moving and shaking all day. I cleaned out, like I'm ready to lay it down. So I'm probably about 15 minutes shy of 8 hours, and 8 to 9 hours is a normal wear time for me. So that's how I try to, as far as I try to push it. Now I'm gonna be honest and say, I did blot just a little, and the only reason why I blotted is because these lights, for some reason, really, not for some reason, it makes sense. I got lights right on here, so of course they're bouncing off of all this oil, but the lights make me look really, really greasy. And so I just want to let you know that I did blot just a little, one sheet here and here, but it was only just because I need for you to see what I actually look like, and because this was exaggerating, the lights was exaggerating, I just want to take it down a notch. So FYI, just keeping it 100. Okay, so final thoughts on this, guys. This is, as I said, I've had it on for 8 hours. I've worn this 4 times, and each time I kind of wore it with a different primer and did a couple different things. So today is the day that I wore it, like, you know, just as I regularly would. I didn't do the blotting. I didn't do anything extra besides use the setting powder and the setting spray, and this is what it looks like. And as you saw in the demo, I did go in with a little bit more on my cheeks and on my forehead. And honestly, it's funny because those areas that I added more are not the dewy side, the dewy pieces of my face. I seriously think I'm dewy, like really right in here. Noticed. And at the very beginning when I had this foundation on, I hope I took a picture and showed you guys, it was dewy off the bat. Even with the setting spray, even with the setting powder, it already had a little bit of radiance. To me, up close, outside of all these lights, it was a pretty radiance. Like, it literally just looked like I had a nice little flush to me, really. And so that was just from the beginning, no matter what you did. What I feel like this foundation does is wears exactly the same all day long. Like that dew that was there at the very beginning, it honestly stayed right there until maybe about the 6 or 7 mark, when it started to get just a little bit more dewier, and that's just because my natural oils were peeking through, and so they were just kind of mixing with the dew of the foundation, and so that's when it got a little shiny. But honestly, it was still a very flattering glow. Like it's hard for me to explain because I don't want to pretend that it wasn't there, because it was. But if you guys understand the difference, it's what makes this foundation something that I'm absolutely loving. So let me go ahead and jump into the pros and the cons. I'm gonna start with the cons because there are some, but they're nowhere near as many as the pros. So let's start with the first con. It is a dewy finish, and I feel like no matter what you do, you're gonna get that dewy finish. I know it says it's a natural finish product. I have come to find out that sometimes those naturals lean more towards dewy because it makes sense. It's not trying to beat everything out. It's not trying to control all that oil. It's trying to give you a natural finish, so it makes sense that it would be a little bit more creamy, dewy, radiant. But that's what this foundation is, and I definitely feel like it doesn't ever really dry down or set. I gave it 3 minutes. Maybe it takes a little bit longer than that, but I ain't got that much time for my foundation to be setting. So after 3 minutes, it was time for me to keep it pushing to the next step, so I keep going. So it has a dewy finish, and to me, it stays dewy throughout the entire wear. For an oily skin diva like myself, you're going to have to do, if you want to get the most wear time and the most oil control out of this foundation, you're going to want to do like me and do a couple extra settings. So like this kind of transfers, so keep that in mind. It doesn't say it's not going to transfer, so I'm not hating on it, but for someone who has oily skin and transfer is really starting to be a thing for me, I do want to put that out there. I will also say, because of that, it also wears underneath your glasses. So if you're like me and you wear glasses to see, then you know. A lot of times, you know, when you take your glasses off, or you can just see the foundation wearing right here, and I will say this foundation does do that. When you take off your shades or when you take off your glasses, you're going to see the indentation, so you're going to have to be aware of that. I know it seems silly, but if you wear glasses, you know what I'm talking about. And I do feel like it's buildable, but it's not, you're not going to get too much more coverage out of this the more you build it. And I feel like you start getting to that third layer, and I'm thinking you're going to get into some dangerous territory where it's going to slide all over your face, or it's going to melt away a lot quicker, or it's going to feel heavy and cakey. I just wouldn't advise it. So I would say, you know, it's a natural finish. You can get a little bit more coverage to where it's almost medium, but you're not getting anything past that, and you're not getting a strong medium. That's not what this foundation was created to do, and I just don't think you can get there. Now, the pros, because there are many. So this foundation is so easy to apply. Like, it's a stick. You twist it up, you keep going. If you're like me, you don't have to worry about putting it on your hand and then going in and putting spots all over it and then going in and blending those spots. You're just swiping that bad boy all over, and you just kind of blended it in. And because this is such a smooth and creamy texture, I don't know if I mentioned that, this is a smooth and creamy texture. Like, it's a nice firmness to it, but when it glides on the skin, it has a very creamy texture to it, which I love, but it's not so creamy that it's just kind of sliding all over your face. Like, it goes on, it holds in place, but it still kind of it moves with the skin, if that makes any sense. So it's just easy to apply. It blends quickly and easily, sinks into the skin. I love the natural finish that it gives, but it's a natural finish. Again, you can build it up so it's a little bit fuller coverage, but the finish, to me, is going to keep getting dewier and dewier as you apply more foundation. Now, as you saw, I did build it up here in this area right here, and I do feel like it's wearing beautifully even at this 8-hour mark. I'm just saying though, it's going to give you a beautiful natural finish if you just accept it for the beautiful natural finish that it is. Like I mentioned before, I do feel like it's kind of buildable, but I wouldn't go past too many, maybe 2. I wouldn't even touch on 3 layers. I just feel like you're going to get into some dangerous territory, and you're not going to be able to appreciate this foundation for what it is. I think it has a decent wear time. I will say, if it's a regular day at work, I'm not doing too much but sitting at my desk, I'm not running around for meetings or going in and out of the building, then I do not have to blot. I am getting a little dewy around that 6 or 7 hour mark, but still I'm okay to just keep going until I get home, and then I can go ahead and wash it off. But if it's one of those days where I'm running back and forth to meetings, or I'm having to go to the different locations, then I can see that it gets a little bit more dewy, say around the 5 hour mark, and I feel the need to blot, but I can keep it pushing, if that makes any sense. So I think it has a decent wear time. Actually, I think it has a great wear time, and it's a stick foundation, y'all. Like, I mean, as you can tell, I love this foundation. I will say, I feel like the dry to combo skin divas are gonna love this just because of the creaminess. I feel like us oily skin ladies, we can still appreciate it because this is still by far one of my favorite stick foundations. I absolutely love this, but I have to say, if I'm trying to get the most out of it, I gotta do a couple things. I'm not mad at doing those things. They're not that, doesn't take me that long, and I'm willing to put that in for what just giving this foundation the chance to do what it's designed to do. I love this foundation. I do feel like the T30 is a tad bit red for me, maybe. Like, it does have a very warm undertone because it says tan to medium with warm undertone, but I feel like this leans just a little bit even more red. There's just a red note in there that makes this just not my shade, but I love it, and I think that this is still a great match on me. I feel like this is one of those foundations that can kind of match to several different people inside that one tone or that one color, but I feel like this is just a tad bit red for me, so it'll look better when I get a little bit more tan when the sun finally comes out and stays. So I love this foundation, guys. I highly recommend it. Oh, and I wanted to mention, I hope I did mention in the beginning, it does come with a sample pack, which I did get for a limited time. If you order the foundation, you got the sample pack, and so I'm going to be swatching all of those for you guys. And also, if you decided to get the sample pack instead of a foundation, it is $5. You get a sample of all 16 shades, and then when you decide to purchase the foundation, you get that $5 off, which I think is absolutely genius. So to me, Mented hit hit it out of the park again. I would love to see them come out with more shades, and I would love to see them come out with one that's a little bit more matte. I'm not looking for flat matte. I'm not even looking for beat matte, but maybe semi-matte. I'm down for it. But I love this, guys. Highly recommend it. I will definitely keep you guys posted, but seriously, highly recommend this. First impression wise, I'm loving it. So I hope this information helps someone else out there. If you've got this or you're thinking about trying it, definitely comment down below and let us know your experience or why you're wanting to get your hands on it. And while you're here on my channel, take a look around, see what else your girl has to offer. And if you're liking what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.